Um, I just wanted to make a few comments. I took Jerry's advice and I used the last book that you guys published, Money and the Law of Attraction, and I've been studying it. And so right now I'm on like my fourth time through it, and some of the things that came up that really resonated with me that I wanted to share with you was you had mentioned the only way unhappy people can stay in your life is when you focus on their unhappiness. And it's been so obvious, when you focus on their well-being, how well you feel.
Yes. It's interesting, too, isn't it? Because if there is someone who has been behaving in an unhappy way, and you've observed it for a while, without meaning to, you've allowed them to train you into a vibrational expectation of how they are. So it takes some effort to see around that, because it's how they behave and it's how you've come to expect them to behave. But when you discover that how you expect them to behave is a bigger component in how they behave when they're with you than how they behave, then you begin to understand the power of influence that you have. So if you hold someone when you're not with them, it's easier, as your object of attention by making lists of positive aspects, and you train your vibration about them into a different place than they usually offer, one of two things has to happen. They either begin to change their behavior when they're with you, or they don't come near you. Because when you think of them, something different than they are is active within you. So law of attraction can't put you together. But if when you think of them exactly as they are is what's active within you, then they come right in and they be just like you thought they would be.
Yeah, and it seems like if they're wanting upliftment and you are being an uplifter,
they show up.
They show up, and it's a perfect opportunity to...
And if you are an uplifter and they want somebody to complain to, you're the last person they think of.
Right.
But then if they suck you out of your vortex and you go there for them and you try to counsel them and you activate within yourself the vibration of discord that they've got going on, then you're the first one they think of, and they call you often.
The other part of the book that really resonated with me was, and I think it resonated with me because I've been acquiring such beautiful things in my life, and mostly for the joy of it. And other people look, and sometimes I have that vibration active in me, I suppose, as well. I feel sometimes, the jealousy, or maybe, the part where, well, if he's got all that, then I can't have, my share. And so when I came across the material possession, even me, as a material being on this planet, spirit has materialized, and spirit and physical have blended. And so the way I took that is that anything material is just spirit.
It is. People worry about materialism.
Right. They call you materialistic.
Especially relative to a book about money and the law of attraction. They want to say, well, those people who are looking for money cannot be very spiritual. And we say, you are spirit expressing in physical form, and you've come here to manifest the vibration of source, and you can't separate one from the other. Also, since you're talking about this book about money and the law of attraction, we want to go back to what you were saying earlier about if you're feeling uncomfortable about someone, or even just focused upon the problem that they have that they've presented to you, then they're going to feel inclined to discuss their problem that's active within you. In other words, you just seem like a perfect person to talk to. Whereas if you are focused only upon the well-being of that person, and granted you've had to work to do it because it's not obvious, you had to find it while they were sleeping or something. But as you find it, then that's the only rendezvous point you have. So now let's think about the economy in general. So there are all kinds of people, no matter what the economy is, there are always those who thrive in all economies. Just as there are usually those who don't thrive in all economies. In the best of times, there are people who don't do well, and in the worst of times, there are people who do well. So now let's say that you have, through reading this book 4 times or just through the power of your own wanting, you've tuned yourself into appreciation for these beautiful things and appreciation for the way things flow to you. So now that's the vibration that you're offering. So which of those people that we just described are you more likely to rendezvous with? You're going to rendezvous with those who have something for you and you something for them. But what about a person who's pessimistic and worried and complaining? Who in the economic community are they going to rendezvous with? Yeah. Those who are complaining gravitate to each other, and then they complain louder. But they don't get improvement. Even your government hears them complain and says, oh, we must soothe those complaints. But you can't throw enough money at that complaining crowd, because just like that spinning merry-go-round on the playground, it just throws them off in the bushes. In other words, you just can't give them enough because they're a vibrational mismatch to it, you see. While those who are confident and secure and knowing about the well-being of the universe are magnetically attracting it. And you're right. Then those who are attracting it stand there all full and glistening and shiny and prosperous. And those who are outside of the vortex, not attracting it, are annoyed by that. And they say, there is injustice, and we need to level the playing field. And we say, there is no injustice. Law of attraction gives everyone exactly what they are offering vibrationally.
Right, or they ask you, what is it? What, you look happy, you look joyful, you have nice things in your life. What is it that you're doing? And I really appreciate that, because that's someone who came and asked, because you try to tell someone something and without their asking, they don't get it. They're not going to receive that answer, even if it's the most beautiful, genius, glorious answer that there is.
Well, and the answer that is the most accurate, and in its simplicity it is the most brilliant, is the more I appreciate, the more comes to me. Right. The more I make peace with where I am, and the more I appreciate whatever I give my attention to. But for most people, that sounds so simplistic. There just has to be more. Oh, you have a secret donor that you're not owning up to. I know that you've inherited your wealth and you're just pretending that it comes through your bliss. And then you could say, any story that works for you. In other words, as you argue for your limitations by messing with my story, you're just arguing for your limitations. I argue for my prosperity, you argue for your limitations.
Oh, the other thing that came up was, it's fun to think on purpose. I really resonated with that, because I've been doing so much fun, joyful thinking and having such amazing results, just being happier, fully connecting with my joy.
It is exhilarating to stand in a place where you know what you don't want, which causes you to consciously become aware of what you do want, and then to recognize that it's not easy to think about what you do want, because what you don't want is more active. And then to make a decision that you're going to make what you do want on this subject more active than what you don't want. It's what we've just been talking about personality traits in others. So then, through the power of your mind, you do some focus wheels, or you make some lists of positive aspects, but you deliberately think a better feeling thought until you've trained your vibration into a better feeling place. And then, now that part was fun in and of itself, we think, and you do. But then the fun really starts, because now the universe starts showing you, now that you're a cooperative component, starts showing you how much it can deliver to you that matches that. And so just avalanches of, how about this? You like that? How about this? Well, you like that? How about this? Well, you like that? How about this? Until you begin to feel the power of the directing of your thoughts relative to everything. It is so exhilarating. You are a creator, and when you are deliberately creating, it is over the moon. And you're all creating. You're all creating. Your point of attraction is emanating. You can't turn it off. You are creating. But creating deliberately is so much fun. And creating by default, not so much fun.
Yeah.
Attracting to you by virtue of your vibration and not knowing what you're doing, so not knowing what to do about it, that's not fun. But delivering a thought on purpose and shoring it up with intentionality, and feeling it click into place until it's naturally how you feel and what you think, and then watching the universe respond to that active vibration within you, that is fun.
Yeah, yeah.